This video is about our mental health and how it can be impacted by COVID-19 or the current coronavirus pandemic. Hi, my name's Jay, I'm a scout and I'm from the UK. I'm also a mental health nurse that works with children and young people. Mental health is how we think, feel, behave. It's how we see the world around us and how we view and value ourselves. Really importantly, during this pandemic and at all times, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be struggling right now. So make sure you reach out and talk to others about your experiences. Sometimes we can dismiss our own difficulties by saying things like, oh, it's worse for other people, or it could be worse. And one of the things to remember is, right now, it's okay to say, yep, I'm struggling with this and I'm having a difficult time. One of the best things we can do to look after our mental health is to look after our physical health. That might mean taking some exercise, that might mean making sure we look at what we eat and what we drink, and making sure that we do the best we can to just maintain our health. Routine is also going to be important. You don't need to keep the same routines that you would have before the pandemic, but try and keep some sort of routine and order in your life. That might just be at certain times you get up in the day and certain times you do certain tasks, but some sort of structure and routine might be helpful for you. Trying to make sure that you maintain the space around you is going to be really important. Thinking about actually how do we work as a team to make sure that we look after ourselves and also make sure that we look after others too. One of the things you might be considering is, what if I get lonely? Or perhaps right now you're feeling lonely. Something to try and hold on to is the fact that loneliness is not about distance or about proximity to other people. It certainly doesn't help right now that we're all spending a lot of time away from each other. But loneliness is about connection. Loneliness isn't about proximity. If we manage to stay connected via social media, via Skype, via other sort of electronic means, we can still try and beat loneliness. It's not as easy for sure, but it's something to remember. Something else we can do to look after our mental health is learn a new skill. This might be the ideal time to do it. It might even be worth thinking, how can I share the skills that I already know with other people? Think about what you already do in your life that gives you value, meaning and purpose. Because the chances are, even when self-isolating or during social distancing, those things are certainly possible to some extent. And if perhaps you've got a hobby or interest where you simply can't do it right now, how do I stay connected with the people that I do that hobby or interest with? A lot of you also might be thinking, I can't go on the adventures I planned, or maybe some of the adventures I hope to go on just aren't possible right now. And it's worth acknowledging that that's really sad and difficult, at the same time as recognising the importance of why we're all doing what we're doing at the moment. But now might be the time to plan an adventure that you've always dreamed of, or think, what can I do next year or in the future that's going to get me through this period of time? Who else can I link up with and share my plans with? Who can I make an adventure plan with? As scouts, one of the best things we can do is give our time and support to other people. And giving our time and support to other people can improve our mental health too. And it might not be the same as what we could do before this pandemic, but actually thinking, what could I do that's giving my time to the community? It could be virtually, through teaching skills or giving lessons on certain scouting activities, or it could be volunteering your time to speak to people that are struggling at the moment. Understandably, we want to find out what's been going on in the world, and that means following social media, looking online, watching the news, and although it's important to stay up to date, it's also really important to take a break from it. You can always get an update later and check in with what's being said at the end of the day, but right now sometimes we need to take a break from it and to take a step back from the news, because we can become overwhelmed and things can become a bit too much if we're constantly watching and waiting for updates. So just in summary then, our mental health is absolutely key to being able to look after our overall health over the period of time that we're currently in. So looking after our mental health can be one of our top priorities for the next few months. Thank you very much for watching.